As the debate on the hybrid funding model on Etolls rages, analysts have weighed in on possible outcomes for the Gauteng freeway network rather. A lack of trust and public buy-in have seen SANRAL battle to recoup the 2 billion rand it's owed in Etoll fees.
Analysts believe that introducing a hybrid model of payment could ultimately complicate the situation further.
There's still a lot of uncertainty. We still don't know how they're planning to fund the Etolls or how they plan to fund the roads going forward. So we don't know really what they mean. But my suspicion is that if they're going to implement some sort of hybrid system, they're going to complicate the whole system even more. So I don't think that's the right approach. The right approach probably will be to properly implement Etolls, but it's very, very unpopular. And the only really practical alternative will be to increase the fuel levy and scrap the rest of the Etoll. That's probably the best practical implementation as far as the Etolls is concerned.
The lack of public trust and buy-in have undermined SANRAL's user-pay principle.
The whole system was handled incorrectly, that there should have been much more public buy-in into this, and I think that's exactly what they're trying to do. What is critical certainly is to get the trust of the public, and unfortunately the public is simply not trusting the whole system. I think in a way the Etolls is not an opposition to the Etolls as such, but in a way the Etoll opposition is a tax revolt, because people are overtaxed, they're not so sure the money is being well spent, and they don't always trust our political leadership. But clearly the Premier is moving in the right direction.
According to the review panel, a mixed source of revenue streams would make up the hybrid funding model, such as sourcing from the provincial fiscus through the goods and services budgets, giving motorists incentives to pay for their use of the Etoll freeways, ring-fencing the national fuel levy, increasing the cost of advertising along the toll routes, allocating a portion of funds from the motor vehicle licensing fees should there be an increase, increased tyre fees, and recouping monies taken by the construction companies found to have colluded on costs in building the Gauteng Improvement Freeway project. Analysts have been pushing for a fuel levy increase as a more equitable revenue source.
There is an opportunity now for the Minister of Finance to increase the fuel levy with quite a large margin. We've seen the petrol price coming down quite substantially the last couple of months. He can easily increase the fuel levy by R1 a litre, as an example. That will yield more than 20 billion rand to the Minister of Finance.
But it will be up to the panel led by Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa to find a sustainable funding model that will satisfy both motorists and the financial constraints that SANRAL faces. Nozintombi Mia, SABC News, Johannesburg.